Hey, it's Patrick from J&P Cycles. We're going to show you how to get rid of your rather heinous looking license plate frame here and install a nice lay down curved one. And Harley's been using these kind of stand up, really cheap license plate attachments for a long time on a bunch of different bikes. For this particular case, this is our Road King, and we're going to work at kind of cleaning this up and slimming this down. And one of the first things that has to go is the license plate frame here. Like I said, it's pretty terrible looking, really billboard, and this is a cheap mod you can do to kind of clean up the rear end of your bike. The first thing we want to do is to get this one off here. So we're going to take the plate off, and then we're going to need a 7/16 wrench for the nuts that are on the bottom side and a Phillips to reach the top ones here. And this looks kind of intimidating, it looks kind of hidden, but you can slide your arm up underneath there, and my short little stubby arm will fit, so I'm sure yours will too. And you're going to reach up in there with the 7/16. You can do it without a ratcheting wrench. I have that I don't have one here just to show you can do it. It's probably a little bit better with a ratcheting wrench. We'll slide up underneath there, grab a hold of those 7/16, and then hold the top of them with our Phillips and get this terrible stock piece off here. So most of our work is going to be done up underneath this fender here where the 7/16 nuts are. We're just going to use a little Phillips here to kind of hold these. And this shouldn't be super tight, and these are a little bit difficult to get to, but the Phillips is just going to try to hold these steady, and most of the work is going to be done underneath. We'll get to the 7/16 nuts, we'll break those loose, and then pull the nuts off, and then just this whole thing will slide out from the top. So it's going to be tough to see what's underneath here, but trust me, there are 7/16 nuts underneath there, and you can get there with your hand. Luckily, this fender moves way out, and so you can kind of work your arm underneath there. You don't need to save these. We have new hardware in the kit, but this is what's underneath there. We're just grabbing hold of it like this, holding it steady with the Phillips, and then loosening it up underneath. I'm just going to clean this up a little bit. You can see it's tough to clean around here. Dirt and stuff gets underneath there. We'll wipe this off, and then I'll show you the options you're going to have with putting the new one on. Okay, so the new piece is angled and it's kind of curved. You can see the curve to it here, but it comes with these two rubber blocks. The difference in the rubber blocks is how this is going to lay on here. Of course, the holes line up, and we have new hardware, but there's a thin one and a thick one. I'm going to go with the thin one because I want this thing to lay down farther. The thin one is going to leave it lay down like that. And you can see it's real nice, kind of runs with the line of the bike. If you wanted this to be more upright, use the thicker rubber piece there. Still got a little bit of lay down to it, still curved, still looks nice, but it's more upright. And it comes with a longer, one of the screws in the pack is longer, and that's if you use this thicker rubber block, the longer screw will go up here because you're raising it away. But we're not going to do that. We're going to use this thin one, and then it comes with some nice Allen hardware, which is just a 3/16 Allen. I'm going to drop these through ahead of time. I'm going to set this on there, and then it comes with washers and lock nuts that I'm going to work on from the bottom side. And the lock nuts are 7/16, same size as what we took off. So just kind of keep the rubber pad all lined up. I'm going to drop these through, and then I'll put them through the holes in the fender, and again, we'll work from the inside of the fender. So this is going to be a little bit easier to do than taking it off. We're going to take our 3/16 Allen, we'll hold it from the top. We can get to these a lot easier than our Phillips. But before we do any of that, I'm going to start these by hand. So one washer, one bolt at a time. I'm just going to get them started underneath there. Then I'll go back, hold them with the Allen, and then tighten them up. And then the kit comes with hardware to put the plate on, which is really nice. But for right now, we got to get these started just with our fingers. Before you get all these too tight, make sure you're lined up. You want to keep this gap pretty even. Make sure that rubber piece underneath isn't sticking out in a weird way. So I kind of just tighten them down sequentially, and before I give them the last little bit of gorilla arm there, I make sure everything's nice and straight. Okay, hard part's over. Now we're gonna put the plate on and admire our handiwork. So we don't have a license plate frame on this bike. If you're gonna put a license plate frame on here, make sure you get one that's got a curve to it, because this is curved. Now you could cheap out, put the plastic hardware back on that comes with the bike, but the kit sends some much nicer looking hardware, really kind of finishes this off. Pretty simple install. This is a really low dollar way to clean up the rear fender of your bike, get that big giant license plate that's hanging out in the breeze there laid down on the fender, really make things kind of follow the line of your bike. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to shoot us a comment. Otherwise, go work on those motorcycles.